On the Sydney Futures Exchange, the SPI finished up 25 at 2,557. That's a 32-point premium.
Mark's trade 95 50 times. Any luck?
We're doing something like $10.5 trillion worth of business a year in nominal terms, which means on average, $200 billion a day trades on the SFE.
This is where all the orders come down through all the way from all around the world, come down to the Sydney Futures Exchange, and they use an open outcry, so you'll bid or you offer them, and then people will trade, you know, they'll buy and sell.
You are speculating on whether interest rates on an hourly, daily, minute basis is going to go up or down.
You're bullish if you think the price is going to go up, and you're bearish if you think the price is going to go down. And that extends to things being good versus things being bad.
Here we go.
Well, the buzz of trading is it's instant gratification. You can make a lot of money very quickly. Let's throw the dice and we'll put our money on the table, and it's just like one big casino out there.
The futures market's a place where risk is transferred from someone who doesn't want the risk to someone who's prepared to accept the risk. That's about it.
Buy 200. Buy 300. Buy everything you can fucking get your hands on. I don't try to predict where the market's going to go. It's like a comet going through in the sky. You can't see the comet, but you can see the tail. We can see the price action, but we can't actually ever really grasp the market. You can't really ever really grasp the market. All you can do is try to jump on board the comet and ride it for a while. All we can see is the tail. That's the price action. It's historical prices. People, you can analyze charts up the yin-yang. You're looking at the tail of the comet. You got to learn to get aboard the comet and ride the comet. That's the idea of trading. It's the idea of getting on board the market and doing what the market tells you to do. It's a very hard thing to do. I would say only 2 or 3 times a year I really feel like I'm on board the comet. But when I'm on board the comet, it's the best feeling in the world.
Well, his name's John. He's American, and he's a big trader, a very big trader. So he came into the pit and he's like, with a very strong American accent. Somebody said, "It's not your war, John." He goes, "It is now." So they call him Rambo.
I remember the first time I walked onto the futures floor of the Chicago Board of Trade. I was in college and I was taking a course in investments. I knew from the second I walked on that floor, electricity went through me. My skin tingled and I said, this is my destiny. I mean, I just knew it straight away. Futures trading isn't for the weak-hearted, and it's certainly not for everybody. When people come up to me and that know me and know what I do, and they say, "Well, John, I've got an extra $10,000. Can you do something with it for me?" I go, "No, there's absolutely nothing I can do with it for you. You know, I trade my own money only. That's all. I mean, I have enough problems doing that. You know, God forbid I took your $10,000 and lost it in a couple hours. I mean, you'd kill me."
I think, the reason the market's very anxious is they're worried about the fact that Japan weakness will lead to China being forced eventually to devalue the yuan. And then people are saying if that were to happen, that could destabilize the rest of Asia and also maybe put some pressure on Latin America as well. So there's sort of a house of cards that people are starting worrying about coming apart again.
Hello, mate. See you, John. Thanks for the ride in. See you tomorrow. Oh, well, here we go. It's another day. Brokers, in many respects, are like taxi drivers. Well, at least I did the dishes last night, or part of them. We're here to take someone from A to B and from B back to A. Turn the lights on for the day. Morning, all. You can't be too opinionated because it's the traders who are opening the risk, and they're the people who really want to make the cold decision whether to buy or sell. We're here to provide information to support them in the decision-making process. Out with the old, in with the new.
The great thing about broking is whether they make money or lose money, you're going to get paid for the transaction. The only way you can not make money broking is not do any business. So you got to get inside the customer's head, and you got to, you know, provide them with a service that they need, become part of their daily life, that they have to talk to you every day or they can't do what they want to do.
I mean, everybody reads the papers, but if I can find a couple of articles that capture a feeling, then I'll send it out in the package. The Australian dollar friendless and local currency market's more volatile than any time since the Banana Republic days. The effects of the crisis in Asia will almost certainly dampen net exports. That'll do. Okie dokie. This will wake him up. 7:10.
That's the lower aisles. And you can snorkel out there. There's a beach out there, lighthouse. It's a national park, so you can, you know, not a lot to fish around it. I know that. Hello.
Morning, John. The bond rallied from about 1 o'clock. I've sent you a 2-minute tick chart. Should be on your machine.
Okay. That. Yeah, bills, please.
The bills have all improved substantially.
Yeah.
I'm fairly convinced they'll trade up to 50, maybe even 60.
All right, sell me 250 SEP bills at 14. OCO marches at 95. But there we go. I'm back to work.
John Moulton resides primarily in far north Queensland, and I would think that he spends now only about 5% of his trading days on the trading floor. And I'm sure that when you've spoken to him, he's been able to elaborate how he can trade just as successfully off the trading floor as he can trade on the trading floor.
My fucking computer doesn't want to stay on. Nobody fucking out. Oh, no wonder. Fucking, this is great. My phone lines are fucked. Telstra, in its wisdom, came out the other day and put in a temporary phone line. They have no idea this could cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars, just being fucked up the way it is. Anyway, what are you gonna do? It's an omen. It's an omen to sit on my hands this morning and not trade, maybe. Aha. I know all I gotta do is this. Put the new phone line in there. Put that in there. Voila. Clear line. Beautiful. Little alternative thinking works here. You know what the real sad part is this telephone is only going to want to work out there. It doesn't work right here. If I move 5 feet that way, the fucking thing works. I need to call directly to the floor. Can you put me through to Axel just for a second?
Axel. Hello. Very well, very busy at the moment.
Are there any spread orders in the pit I should know about right now? Is it still bid there? All right, listen, can you call me up with this stuff before it goes out of the pit? I mean, you're telling me stuff that's already happened. It doesn't do me a whole lot of good. I would love to have sold that at 30 points. I was buying the bills and selling the 3 years last night, and that would have been a good opportunity to liquidate it. Okay. No, just as soon as anything hits that pit, can you call me straight away with it, please? Thank you, mate. You know, by the time he calls me and tells me what's going on, the trade has already occurred and gone, and there's not much I can do about it. So, you know, the floor is still got, you know, the floor has still got heaps of advantages. My profitability would be a lot higher if I was still on the floor. So there you go.
There are about 450 people on the trading floor. 300 of them work for the brokers, the banks, the institutions. And then there's about 150 are locals trading their own money. Those locals trading their own money, make or lose the way they trade. They buy it, they make money. If it goes up, they sell it, they make money if it goes down.
As far as a pit trader goes, you have to be quick, aggressive, loud. I sort of establish what's going on in the pit, and, you know, when traders get orders, try to panic them more into making trades that they don't really want to make or that they have to make in order to fulfill the order. You can lose a lot of money very quickly because it is a very risky business. If you're a trader that's trading large volume, making money, then all of a sudden it dries up and you're still trading large, you'll find yourself in trouble.
By the way, this is what I traded yesterday. You want to see it in the written form? There you go. I traded, I think I figured out it was 18,000 lots yesterday, which for me is, sitting up here in Port Douglas, is certainly a record. About 13% of the market, which is probably larger than it should be. I'm not comfortable trading that large size with the market and the overall volume of the market. It's usually not a good sign. It can be a sign that I might be over trading. Off to SciComm we go. Actually, 88. 10 years thrown over that 6.5 bid. We open? You can go crazy in this weather. It keeps raining. Really, your day never really has a start, and your day really doesn't have an end. I look at it more along the lines of when is the market shut and when is the market not shut. And pretty much nowadays the market is open from 8:30 on Monday morning till 6 o'clock Saturday morning. My perception is that the nature of the market is constantly evolving. So do you as a trader. Constantly have to evolve with the market, and the best way to do that is to just literally, I just have to just really stare at it very hard. Just really stare at it really hard. You know, I just stare at it, and then it'll come to me.
When I was trading my own account, I dreamt about the market and trading, and I had my first winning trade in a dream 2 months after I stopped trading my own account. They were always losers. You know, you'd buy something and it'd go against you immediately, and you panic attack, what do I do? Do I get out? Do I add to it? And those are the kind of dreams I was having. And now with 24-hour trading, I don't know, I've got customers who call the SciComm desk, which is the overnight market, every hour. Right through the night.
I've sort of learned patterns that happen in the T-bonds that seem to repeat themselves, and that's what we're doing, is just looking at patterns that happened in the past that seem to have got it right more than wrong, and setting them in the computer so if that pattern does occur again, to let us know. Hi Larry, it's Van speaking here. How are you?
My strongest signal tomorrow, it looks like, I guess, what we call our oops if we open lower than today's low.
Mm-hmm. My style of trading is all based on one trader, and that's Larry Williams. And he is, in my opinion, the best trader in the world, and he's proved it many a time.
When what should work doesn't work, you got great valuable information, incredibly information. So I like what's happening down here. I see some bullish stuff. I'm looking, gee, I like those triangular formation, whatever. I want to get long 2 bars above. I got to be a buyer there. Notice what you have, though, our old friend, the outside bar, higher high, higher low, lower close. We want to be a buyer, the next bar.
He turned $10,000 into $1.1 million, and no one's ever got any close to it. He's the best trader in the world. I want to trade like he does. And so his approach is, yeah, he goes for a 5-mile run every day. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink very much. He has like a Zen approach to the markets. He doesn't watch them all day.
Want to have a bet?
Are we betting now? We're betting money?
We gotta have a bet on something.
You think of a good bet?
I'll bet you it doesn't rain here while we're still sitting here and having lunch, and we're gonna be here.
How much are we betting?
$5.
Okay then, you're on.
Shake.
Okay then.
Done. What's your name, by the way?
Julie.
Julie, I'm John.
John.
$5 bet.
$5 bet that it is going to rain while you are here.
That's good bet.
Okay then.
Right. I'm happy with that. Uh-oh, it's starting to rain already. I'm stuffed. You know, what if I'd said $500? What would she have done? So I'd say, you're on. Make it 1,000. I'd be like, hey, you're coming home with me. I want you to trade for me this afternoon. Hello. Well, how are the deck bills? Can you do any positive? How are the 3s and 10s?
It gets so compulsive and obsessive that you keep going in there and doing it. And if you're consistently making money, you sort of, in a way, you probably create these problems for yourself by, you know, you're winning, and you want, you know, you want to have that a bigger trade or win bigger, you know, and that's when you usually start losing.
Usually lunchtime he'll ring me, I can tell by his tone of voice. Like, hello. Or we are booked on a flight that afternoon. I know he's had a really bad day. And he'll sort of say, we're going to Bali at 5 o'clock, pack the kids up.
I've had a day where it's been some economic data has come out. I think it was an employment figure, and the data was bearish. So the market went to lunch at 12:30. The bonds were weak. I think they were off 10. Anyhow, I got back from lunch and I looked up, and I think the Nikkei had taken a 2 or 3% dive. 2 o'clock comes, I'm 200 short. The market opens up 3 or 4 points higher. And of course, I'm trying to protect my position, and BT start buying. So I sell another 50 and it goes against me straight away, 3 or 4 points. I'm short 250 now, and there are no sellers. It rallies 3 or 4 points, so I sell another 100. You know, not even taking into account the flight to quality, not even thinking, just thinking that these are too expensive. I'm 350 short now, and it's really starting to look a bit serious. It rallies another 5 points, and I sell another 150, so I'm 500 short. And at this stage, I'm looking at about $500,000, and I'm just screaming out, sellers, give me a seller. You know, I want a seller so I can get out. Sellers. No one knows what's going on with me, of course, because it's just mayhem in the pit. I could taste blood in my mouth, and my heart was beating. You know, I was looking at about $700,000. I was thinking about my wife. My life was just flashing in front of me. I was thinking about the house. And I'm there screaming, sellers. And there's just, all of a sudden, the market just goes dead quiet. And there's just one guy, odd minute, just bidding for 200 at the high, going like 57 for 200, 57 for 200. And I'm going, if I have to pay any higher, 3 points higher, it's going to cost me over $1 million. That's going to be me out of the game. And all of a sudden, sellers came in, and sellers came in hard. And before I could buy them back, the market came off 5 points, came off another 5 points. I bought them back and took a $500,000 loss, and I was just very happy to get out at a $500,000 loss.
I mean, I have to try and keep myself together as much as I'd like to kill him. You can't. It just makes the situation worse. And, you know, he could lose everything. He's one of those traders that, you know, could end up with nothing. And I'm not prepared for that to happen. So it's just a matter of me sort of keeping it together and letting him go and do his thing.
President Yeltsin is preparing to quit have sent a shiver through the world's markets that have even reached Wall Street, sending the Dow crashing more than 350 points.
Too much confusion everywhere. We have a major meltdown in stocks in Japan. We have a serious problem with the stocks in the United States today. Bond markets are all over the map.
Our coverage this morning begins with attempts by the Australian Reserve Bank to protect our dollar overnight in New York. An intervention which caused a temporary surge before the sellers moved back in for the kill.
Last couple of days just crazy. The dollar got nailed and our markets came off in response, so we had a couple of the biggest days the exchange has ever had. You can hear my voice. I'm just so exhausted after that.
Started in the middle of the night last Thursday night, and it's just been violent Aussie currency moves on the downside, obviously. We were looking at market was anticipating a 0.5% interest rate easing. In fact, it looks like we could be having a full basis point up.
I haven't heard any horror stories on the floor. Often with those sort of moves, you get some of the locals get killed and go out of business, go bankrupt. I haven't heard any of those stories, which is lucky.
I don't think anybody expected the bills to trade 100 points under cash, seeing as they'd been a premium to cash for so long. So I caught everybody out of it, including myself. I'm sure there's some people that did quite well, that were, you know, and I'm normally a very bearish trader. I mean, I love the bear trade. I love being short. And yet we had the biggest bear move in years, and I lost money. I prefer not to comment on how much money I lost. Let me put it this way: it was over $1 million.
So we're going the fastest way, right? Speed is of the essence, mate.
Well,
time is money.
Yeah, 60 long years, unfortunately. It's a problem with the police. They got their little unmarked cars running around here. So what sort of work you do?
That's a good question. I don't. Right now, I'm not doing much of any work. I speculate on international interest rate futures.
Okay.
There you go.
That's where the money is.
Yeah. Heaps of money.
Sure.
All going out right now.
Yeah, but it's been like that for years. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it comes.
Hey, it seems to me you know a bit about the business, man.
Well, you learn a fair bit when you're in a taxi.
I can smell the air. It smells dirty. Lots of car exhaust fumes. Lots of people milling around like a bunch of rats scurrying around, wondering what the fuck they should be doing with their lives. It looks to me like. Sorry, I'm just. And that's another thing. I've come back to Sydney, and so my attitude changes. All of a sudden, I'm like this big asshole. All of a sudden, it's just like this is pre-training for going back to that mongrel floor and having to go down there. Yeah, that's true. Hello, Mario. Fuck. I hate this fucking place. No, I don't. I love it. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. Time to make some fucking money, that's for sure.
And it's been such a difficult week, and there's going to be a few casualties, which is always a bit of a difficulty in our market. You know, whenever you get some massive movement like this, and the leverage and gearing that the futures market provides, there's going to be a few casualties.
And the broker is the customer's friend, confidant.